guess what?
What?
It's not on picture, it's on movie.
Oh.
So now all we have to do is say Louie.
Hi, Lobo.
Live long and prosper. Just think your dad's right in there. Anyone care to say what they thought of the movie?
Hello, mysterious Lobo of the future. I was asking about the movie.
Yeah, did you like the movie?
Yes.
Yay. Why?
This is on video, and Lobo doesn't know what we're talking about, so...
Well, you can identify the movie.
It started with a D.
I don't know if you saw it or not.
Denial.
No,
No.
Defiance.
Defiance.
I wrote a review of it once, which I sent to him. I don't know whether he saw it or not, but he's aware of it because I talked to him about it once. And he's been to Russia. He's been there into the trees and the forests.
Yep.
Well, what do you think of the effect of all that shooting and all those guns and all those people being blown up on a child of this age?
She's seen worse in the video games that she's watched and played. This was something, or based on real events, rather than zombies and cyborgs and...
No, those crazy things that Orion squelches with his machine guns and all his fire and all that.
Yeah.
Well, you had to... when I first saw it, I had my doubts about him shooting that guy that didn't take his orders. Yes, Sonny's daughter.
How long is this video going to last?
It's done. It's over.
She's the one you're shooting for Lobo.
Oh, how long do you want it to last?
I don't know, just one thing.
Oh, it's up to us.
He has enough space on his memory card in that camera to last for quite a while.
About 30 minutes.
But what about the batteries?
They're pretty potent. They'll last. Are you worried? I could change batteries.
Not particularly, no.
Not particularly. Where did we lose Orion to?
He's been gone for a while. Yeah, he never
the
watched
cake.
the movie.
Yeah. He did not return downstairs after the cake.
Hmm.
So did you research the story to try to figure out what part of the movie was real and what part was enhanced from the real story of the beauty?
I did look up the areas they talked about. I don't know if he actually snuck out all those people from that town. That could have been exaggerated. But of all the rest, yeah, it happened. I mean, the facts were that he and his brother knew that forest very well because they grew up in it.
Sure.
And they were evading the cops all along.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty much counter-economy types. And then, because they were Jews.
Right.
And the rest of them were Christians, and there were pogroms and everything.
Right.
So what we saw was pretty much real. I was wondering though, they're in the middle of the forest, they're in quote a camp, and he's got a metal little furnace there inside one of those huts. Where'd they get a metal furnace?
Probably took it from one of the houses or farmhouses that was destroyed. I mean, that's a typical sort of heating thing out there.
Yeah, that's true.
It's more of something that you could assume they could somehow get rather than... The one thing that did tweak my annoyance meter was when they were all running out of food, but they still had plenty of booze.
Yeah.
Like every
It is Russia. So
yeah, that's plenty of booze.
they do.
And at one point they were making booze in the camp. You remember?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, they were making. They had potatoes. They had a lot of them, and they took that potato. They were joking about it. Remember, they're going to have potato and beets for breakfast, and then for dinner we're going to have beets and potato.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we're going to have something special, beet soup. Remember?
Yeah.
Well, you can make booze out of potatoes.
So well, that's the original vodka.
Came by that table to get potatoes was making them with the guys around the camp.
Exactly, and I know how to make it. You have a fire, and you have heat, and you need a coiled tube so that the steam can take all this stuff. And
so this was filmed in Lithuania, looks like.
Maybe Lobo will recognize the blog.
It could be the one that he showed us that vid with the girl from one of the cycle camps.
Yeah.
Of course, they came out a lot cleaner than she did, so.
Somehow. Well, they had belts to hold on to. They were perfect.
Yes, that makes all the difference. And they are the chosen people of God, so I guess there's a limit to how dirty they can get.
What I thought was interesting was some of the customs. I thought you asked about what that little object was that they took from the doorway of their home.
Yeah.
That's a Jewish tradition that goes back thousands of years, and I don't know its significance, but I just know it's.
I think that it's from Passover. They had to put a mark on the frame so that whoever knew to not kill the firstborn male in those houses.
Right, that's right, and then it became more than just a piece of
Yeah,
blood.
filmed on location in Lithuania.
Yeah.
So pretty accurate, terrain-wise.
Well, let's see all these trees out here.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to go living like that.
I wonder if the American community could even begin to band together like that.
I don't think so.
No.
I think that there'd be total fighting and there would be the balkanization. In fact, I've got to find this novel about these kids that went to the University of Chicago, and they concluded that they'd have to be prepared for civil distress and lack of food and all the things that take place if there was a major social upheaval. And so they practiced it. They got their weapons together and they practiced all the things you need. You need food, shelter, clothing, and a doctor.
Right.
And you need a form of organization so that you're not always fighting all the time.
Yes.
And then you have to become part-time soldiers, and you have to figure out how that works. So they did all this while they were at the University of Chicago. And then they kind of, they even appointed, they got this house in Colorado that was in a valley, not too far from Denver, but so you could get to it. That would be their safe house. And so then they all graduated and they went their ways. But then about 4 years later, the social upheaval came. And so they called each other and said, yep, go to the safe house. So what happened next and how they survived or did not was the theme of the book. It was fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
The problem was, it was all online. And I read it about a decade ago, and now their dad thinks it might be possible. Well, buy your gold now while you can. It was a very cool book.
Do you remember the title?
No, that's the problem. Because it was always there. I just could go to it.
Right, yeah.
And I had it bookmarked on my first computer, and then I got a second computer. By the time I got to the third computer, the bookmark was no longer there.
Yeah. Did you get the link from Lobo?
No. This I don't remember where I got it from, but the theme of rational survivalists is interesting. Just like it's the theme in a way of that book of the little blonde naked girl 50,000 years ago, Ayla, remember?
Oh, yeah.
The Children of the Earth series?
Yeah, whatever.
Imagine.
Planet of the Cave Bear.
Planet of the Cave, yeah. Did you read it? Did you read it?
Yeah.
Well, then you and I did, but the same thesis almost. Here's a little girl, she's younger than you, she's a little blonde girl, and she's living with her family, and she's running along naked in a stream, kind of a little lake stream. It's 50,000 years ago, and it took place in about where Belarus is, just coincidentally. And all of a sudden there's a huge earthquake, and it swallows up their camp. And it kills all her family, and she's alone. She's alone in the time of the saber-toothed tiger, sort of. And so how does she live? That's the theme. And she proceeds to become a superwoman.
I don't recall whether it was explicit in the book or whether it was just sort of implicit and I read into it, but wasn't Ayla sort of one of the Homo sapiens and the clan that took her in were Neanderthals or more primitive, and
yes,
so
exactly.
it was the crossbreeding that created
What?
human.
No.
As in, oh, okay.
No. She was, I don't know whether she was a Neanderthal or a Cro-Magnon.
Yeah, she was smarter than.
Yeah, and she was blonde, notice
Right.
that.
Oh, yeah.
The other group, which took her in,
Yeah.
couldn't speak.
That's right.
And
didn't cry.
They didn't cry.
Didn't laugh either.
Didn't laugh, and they were sort of.
Yeah.
They were humans, but proto-humans.
Yeah, hominoid.
And halfway through the later novel, she meets this 6'4" guy.
That's right.
Who is very blonde
yeah,
and very.
I forgot about.
So
yeah.
and then boy, a lot of sex.
Yes. She invented the toothbrush too.
Oh yeah, and a lot of things.
Yeah.
How to domesticate animals.
Yeah.
She calls the saber-toothed tiger baby. Oh, that's just baby.
I didn't remember that part, but that doesn't surprise me.
There's a monstrous tiger that could rip a man apart with either, And Joe is just baby, and she rides a horse. She invented riding horses.
That's right.
And it was all believable.
Yeah.
I loved it. And you will too someday. Hey, Louie, this is what we talk about when you're gone. Shall we talk stink about Louie?
No. That's impossible.
No, I don't.
Well, all right, he's got a bunch of virtues, but let's find his one flaw. Oh, did you see he cut his hair?
Yeah, he cut
And
off
his facial hair.
and his beard. He needs to get them back.
He's working. He's got a little goatee.
Why did he do this? Experiment.
Yeah.
It's an experiment.
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked great.
He said that this was running away from him, screaming when he cut off his beard.
Jesus of
We
Nazareth
was a
was
little girl and ran away. Although I just cried.
You cried?
Yeah.
Right. What's wrong with?
From the shore.
Because he took a little hair off his face?
He told us that he was thinking about doing it. It wasn't like it was.
He didn't talk about his facial.
Oh, you must have been asleep.
But what's the difference? I shave.
Because he did tell us.
I know, but it just.
You do it every day.
I've never seen him without it.
So what?
Boy, seeing it.
So now you know what your father looks like shaved. That's all. Big deal. Didn't hurt him. He's still your father. He still loves you.
When Chubby was grocery shopping, if you were grocery shopping, when you came out,
And
your
you saw
house was in
Bruno.
ruin.
Oh.
No. And the house was in ruins from a lamp and slide. Wouldn't you be surprised?
Well, now that's a bit different than a guy shaved. House in ruins, yeah, but a guy shaved. Big deal.
Minus facial hair. Slight change.
Well, see, it's different. If I don't shave, Lisa gets all mad at me. And she says, no num-nums. No, no. Just joking.
No.
Yeah, num-num, num-num. And she won't do that if I'm unshaven. Because it's all rough,
Num-nums is the name of a hamster from a video.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
So
fun.
there are a lot of things that are called num-nums.
Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger used that in another context. Yeah, another context. The same context, but different.
Yeah. No, she didn't. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know of that context.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about a hamster.
If Lobo happens to be wondering where Orion is, he's been jacked into his Game Boy the whole time.
He's actually making progress. He was stuck a while ago. Wonder if he's on.
Lobo's very concerned about the state of Orion's game.
Of course.
Losing sleep over whether or not he can beat that boss.
Right.
Hey, buddy, want pillow fight?
No.
I'm kidding.
Poor one.
I'm Logan.
Yeah.
I'm Il Fettuccine. I'll be your guide tonight.
Alright, good night, folks.
Yes, it is probably time for us to
Squeezes.
head
Okay.
around the lake.
Fred?
All right. We'll say aloha, Louie. Aloha, Lobo. Live long and prosper.
Yeah.
And then I will put this on. I'll send it to you. Where I'll put it. You can see it.